few days more. So, Krishna is fully independent. He could have refused, no, I cannot stay more. 2 days. But here it is said, Premla. Premla means out of love. Rajya Nibarita. Maharaj Yudhishthira cannot order the Supreme Personality of Godhead to stay or to undo his decision. But Premla, everything is possible. Premla means by love. Therefore, if we increase our love for Krishna, then Krishna becomes purchased by us. Krishna agrees. Krishna is the order giver for everyone, but he accepts the order of the devotee. Just like Krishna, while driving the chariot, Arjuna said, Srinayor ubhayor madhye rathasthapaya me achyuta. My dear Krishna, you are achyuta. Achyuta means who never falls back. So you have accepted my charioteer post. So charioteer post means he has to carry the order of the king who is on the chariot. Chariot driver is a driver. And the master is the man who is sitting on the chariot. That is the position. So Arjuna knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Out of friendship, he has become my charioteer, order carrier. So when he requested him, Rathasthapaya me achyuta, just place my chariot between the two soldiers, Srinayor ubhayor madhye. So he was little hesitating that I am ordering Krishna. Therefore he reminded Achyuta. Achyuta means who never falls back. Therefore he reminded that Krishna, although you are my master, but because you have voluntarily accepted to become my charioteer, therefore I am asking you. It is not disrespect. So you have to carry it as a charioteer. Krishna also said, yes, I am going. Yes. This is the position. So, if we can purchase Krishna by love, that is stated in the Brahma Samhita, adurlabha, vedeshu adurlabha. Vedeshu adurlabha, sudurlabha atma bhakto. God is adurlabha. Vedeshu durlabha, not adurlabha. I am sorry. Vedeshu durlabha, adurlabha atma bhakto. Durlabha means very difficult to obtain. Do means difficult. And labha means getting. So, Brahma says that officially if you study Vedic literature to find out God, to know about God, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. Therefore, those who are depending on personal studies, speculation, personal knowledge to understand God, for them Krishna is durlabha, very difficult to find out. It is not possible. Nahang prakasa sarvassu yogamaya samavritaha. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said that I do not expose myself. Krishna reserves the right of being exposed to anyone and everyone. No, that's not possible. Although the Vedic literature is meant for to find out Krishna, Vedaishta sarvai ahameva vedyam, all knowledge. Vedic Veda means knowledge. Any department of knowledge you may pursue. The business is how to find out Krishna. That is real business. Either you take chemistry or physics or politics or sociology, anything, medicine, everything, all departmental knowledge. The aim is to find out Krishna. That was being done by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was teaching grammar to a student. So he was explaining dhatu. Dhatu means verb. So he was explaining Krishna. Later on, the students, they became little dissatisfied that Nimai Pandit simply explains Krishna in everything. So the small school was closed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are described as Adham Porua. That is in Chaitanya Chaitanya. Adham Porua means Adham. Adham means very low grade. Adham. And Uttam means high grade. Uttam and Adham. And Madham. Madham means via medium. There are 3 grades in everything. First class, second class, third class. So this class of students, Adham, who are not interested to understand God or Krishna, they are third class students. Adham Purva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was explaining during his instruction Krishna, but the Adham Purva did not like it. So the purpose of education means to know God, to know Krishna. That is the ultimate purpose. But they do not know. These rascals, they do not know. Nati vidu sartha gating hi Vishnu. They do not know the ultimate goal of life is Vishnu. They are trying to be learned scholar simply by material acquisition. That what is called durasaya. What is the purpose of education? Purpose of education to know the supreme cause, sarva karana karanam, and become happy. Everyone is inquisitive. Jigyasu. Everyone is jigyasu. So that jigyasu, that propensity for the lower animals, they are anxious to inquire where is food. Where is food? Ahara nidra. Where is shelter? Where is sex? And where is defense? The jigyasu, everyone is inquiring. The whole world is inquiring. Those businessmen going into the market, they immediately inquire, and the answers are, nowadays there are what is called the paper comes automatically, telex. So they are getting, in Zurich, we saw that every bank is by television giving the quotation, a price quotation. That city is very speculative. They are speculate on the price of gold and they purchase and sell So they must know the price of the gold every moment, how the market is changing. Their brain is always in that way. So everyone is inquisitive. Every one of us. Even the animals, birds, beasts, everyone. Inquisitive. But when one becomes inquisitive to understand God, and then his human life is fulfilled. Then he is actually in human life. Otherwise, to simply inquisitive, what is the price of gold? That means selling and purchasing, make some profit. And when there is profit, then there is sense gratification. This is their aim. When they get some money, immediately how to spend it for sense gratification, not only for personal self, but also family. Divacharte hayarajan kutumba bharanena va. Our life is being spoiled. How? Nidraya hyate naktram. At night you are sleeping or enjoying sex. Nidraya hyate naktram babayena cha babaya. Babaya means sex. So at night we have got two business, sleeping and sex. And daytime, diva charte hayarajan. At daytime, simply where is money, where is money? Artha or self-interest. Diva charte hayara, yuhaya means searching after, desire. Then as soon as he gets money, then what business? Diva charte hayarajan kutumba bharanena va. Kutumba means family. So as soon as we get money, we spend it, go to the store, purchase so many things. So this is our business. The materialistic life means to spoil the night by sleeping and sex life, and to spoil the day, where is money, and spend it. That's it. Is it not? This is the clear analysis of materialistic life. Charte haya, where is money, where is money? This is also inquisitiveness. Where is money? Where is food? Where is shelter? Where is this? Where is that? For. So, this inquisitiveness is there in the animals. Then what is the use of this human form of life? The same inquisitiveness is there. Where is money? Or where is shelter? Where is food? Where is sex? No. This inquisitiveness is already there in the animal life. Now you have got better life, human form of life, intelligent life, advanced life. Still you will be engaged in these inquiries. This is Vedic civilization. These things are not to be inquired, they are already there. Supply is there. So what should be the inquisitiveness in this human form of life? Therefore the Vedanta Sutra says, ataha brahma jignasa. Now this life is meant for inquiring about the Supreme, Absolute Truth, or Krishna. Krishna is the Absolute Truth, ultimate goal. So that is human life. When we inquire about, therefore those who are inquisitive about God, they are not ordinary persons. They have been described in the Bhagavad Gita as Sukritino. Sukritino means background is pious. Just like you are all. You have come to Krishna consciousness movement on account of your very nice background. In your past life, you must have cultivated Krishna consciousness, but it was not complete. Therefore, Krishna has given the chance again. Now come to this platform and make your life successful. Suchinang simatangehi yoga bhrashta sanjayate. Yoga bhrashta, those who could not fulfill or finish the Krishna consciousness business completely, they are given another chance. Another chance. What is that chance? Suchinang simatangehi. Suchinang means very pure family, Brahmana family, Vaishnava family, just like these children. They have taken birth now in the Vaishnava family. Father is Vaishnava, mother is Vaishnava, and they are taken care of. So very exalted life. From the very beginning of life, they are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, they are dancing, they are taking prasadam. The atmosphere is so congenial for spiritual life, they are getting chance. This is a chance. These children are not ordinary children. Because they could not complete Krishna consciousness in their previous life, they have been given chance to take birth in a family, the father and mother, they are Krishna conscious. This is Suchinang Simatangi Yoga Bhrashta Sanjayate. These are the. So, to become Krishna conscious, even if you fail in this life, in one life, there is no loss. There is no loss in this way that you get another chance. But if you are not Krishna conscious, there is no certainty whether you are getting next life human form or life or cats or dogs. There is no. That will be decided according to your karma. Therefore, we should take to Krishna consciousness seriously and try our best to complete it in this life, not waiting for another life. Although there is chance, the next life, even if we fail, but we should not be indolent. If I fail in this life, I shall have another chance. No. We must decide to finish this Krishna consciousness business in this life and immediately go back to home, back to Godhead. That should be our determination. Because Krishna consciousness means to understand Krishna. That's all. Krishna is everything. Krishna is the origin of everything. If this much we can understand, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is the cause of all causes, He is the source of everything. These 3-4 things, if we can understand one thing, we understand everything. If we simply understand Krishna, that is the Vedic injunction. Jasmin vijñāti sarvamidam vijñātam bhavanti. Simply by understanding Krishna, everything becomes understood. The scientists, they are making research, so many things, but a Krishna conscious person can understand very easily all the problems of the world. Just like we are discussing this morning, the Krishna, we have to accept Krishna with mystic power, achinta shakti. Achinta shakti, means beyond our conception. Because the mystic power is there in us also. Although we are teeny living entities, so many mystic power we have got within. We cannot understand. Take for example, just like your hair, you cut, it is again growing. You do not know how it is growing, but it is growing. That's a fact. That's a fact. How it is growing, that you do not know. That is mystic power. That is mystic power. So many things there are. So if there is any cut on your body, any injury, even if you don't apply medicine, automatically it becomes cured. How it is being cured? Even if you don't go to the doctor, physician, automatically it will be cured. We are experiencing daily That is mystic power. We are creating so much chemicals, even by passing stool. What to speak of other things? The stool is analyzed by scientists. It contains the greatest amount of hypophosphate, yes. And hypophosphate is the very nice medicine for weak health. But that's just try to understand that such important medicinal value we are producing in our stool. What to speak of other things? So that is mystic power. So we have got this mystic power, but we do not know. The example is given like that. The deer who has got musk in the navel, and the flavor is very nice. So he's jumping here and there, here and there, here and there. Where is this flavor? He does not know the flavor is in his navel. You see? The flavor is there in him, but he is finding out where it is, where it is, where it is. Similarly, we have got so many dormant mystic power within us. We are unaware. But if you practice the mystic yoga system, some of them you can evolve very nicely. Just like the birds are flying, but we cannot fly. Sometimes we desire. Had I the wings of a dove, there at poetry, I could immediately go. But that mystic power is also within you. If you develop by yogic practice, you can also fly in the air. That is possible. There is a planet which is called Siddha Loka. In the Siddha Loka, the inhabitants, they are called Siddha Loka, means they have got so many mystic powers. We are trying to go to the moon planet by so many machines. They can fly. They can, as soon as they desire, they can go. So mystic power there is in everyone. It has to be developed. Parasa Shakti Vividaiva Sriyate. We have got so many dormant powers. It has to be cultivated. Just like Krishna, say 4 or 5 years ago, you did not know what is Krishna. By cultivation, you are coming to know Krishna, what is God, what is your relationship. So the human life is meant for such cultivation, not for seeking where is food, where is shelter, where is sex. These are already there. Tassaiva heta prajatita kovida nalabhate. These things are not our subject matter of inquiry. These are already there. It is enough there even for the birds and beasts, and what to speak of human beings. But they have become so rascal. They are simply absorbed in the thought of where is food, where is shelter, where is sex, where is... This is the misguided civilization. Misguided. There is no question of this thing, but there is no problem at all. They do not see that the animal has no problem, the bird has no problem. Why the human society will have such problem? That is not at all problem. Real problem is how to stop this repetition of birth, death, old age and disease. That is real problem. That problem is being solved by Krishna consciousness movement. If you simply understand what is Krishna, takta deham punarjanma naiti, there are no more material birth. So, Krishna consciousness movement is so nice. If you make friendship with Krishna, then you can talk with Krishna as Yudhishthira Maharaj requested. Krishna, kindly stay a few days more. So Krishna, not few days more. Krishna will remain perpetually with you if you love Krishna. Thank you very much.
Jai Hare Krishna. Wonderful, wonderful lecture. Guiding us to the conclusion that if we become loving towards Krishna, big friendship with Krishna, then just like Maharaj Yudhishthira requested Krishna, please stay with us a few days. He won't just stay with us a few days. He will stay with us forever. We just have to cultivate love for him. And that's the important point. So Srila Prabhupada ended it. That is a devotee's aim also, Krishna Prema. So, dear devotees, this is the time to unmute yourself if you want to ask a question, if you want to connect some dots and things that you have realized and how to connect with this lecture, or if you want to, repeat some of the things on here that struck you to your heart, that is your takeaways, please unmute yourself and share so we can have some nice Krishna Katha. We have plenty of time. This was only a 34-minute lecture, or at least the recording part of it was 34 minutes. And so we have plenty of time. So we can use it as we like in Krishna Katha. Hare Krishna.
I think there's a post in the chat.
Yeah, but it doesn't say much.
Oh, okay.
That's Nupu, I think it's Mataji, right? Is she Mataji?
Yes.
Yeah, so Nupu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, and
Hare
all
Krishna.
devotees, Dandavat
Yeah.
Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, as you mentioned, this is one of the powerful lecture by Prabhupada. So many wonderful points. Some of the point I noted and is like Prabhupada's putting focus on the aim of everything, like education, research, anything to know the Krishna, to find out the Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then one will be happy. That was so wonderful. The Prabhupada was further mentioning was be inquisitive about the God. I mean, the people who are trying to find about the God, they are not normal people. They are the smart people. So people have some inquiry, inquisitiveness about the material. They are special, but the real special people who wanted to know the Krishna, who is God, how he look like, and how one can get connected. And as you have mentioned, when we get connected with the Krishna, we can talk to him, like how Yudhishthir Maharaj was, asking, stay few more days. The another point I noted was the children of the devotees they are not normal, because some in last birth they could not complete their Krishna consciousness. To complete that, they take a birth in the devotee's family. So they are not normal. They are the very elevated children's of the devotee. So these are the some points I noted down.
Right. Yeah, very, 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 very pertinent points. Very pertinent. If I could add one to it, when you talked about children of devotees, Srila Prabhupada saying that they were in the last life, that they couldn't complete, therefore they were born in this lifetime as sons and daughters of devotees, so they can actually complete their life. But he also made the point that there's no point having to come back to complete the life, or just hearing that there's another opportunity if I don't, complete this. He says you have to try to finish your Krishna consciousness business this life.
Yes, that's
And
also, that's the very main point I also wrote down. Yeah.
when we think about it, why stay in a place where you see people dying, you see people suffering in hospitals and clinics, and you see people getting old and walking with difficulty and all that? You say, oh, I will come back and do it again. Why? It's a point that Prabhupada is making. Why do that? Rather than go back, get out of this physical body, and be in a place where everybody is loving. There is no old age, there is no taxes to pay. You don't buy anything, everything is provided. And that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead's abode. And we are all, and the majority of all living entities are in the spiritual world, not here. Not here in the material world. Only a small percentage are here, small percentage are prisoners. So we got to go back. And that's why Sri Prabhupada said, no, the process has been made so simple by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hear, chant, and do some service. That's it.
Correct.
Don't offend anybody. That's it. That's all it
Right.
is.
Yeah, the
Hare
point, one more point I'd like very
Mhm.
much is
Sure.
Prabhupada says that when you know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you will be happy. And everyone is trying to be happy. And Prabhupada
Yes.
is bringing the formula how to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very important point. Thanks for bringing that up too. Everything, even the point of suggesting or saying that in the departments and the universities, all the subjects should connect with Krishna. This is how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. He taught when he was, came and younger and he had a small class. That's how he was teaching English, not English, but grammar. Their Sanskrit and so on, the grammar. But he related everything to Krishna.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's our life. We should be thinking about Krishna and always thinking about how to serve devotees, how to serve Guru, and then of course how to serve the deity, Krishna's merciful form for us so that without materialize we can see and also serve him. Hare Krishna. Anyone else with important points? Every point here is important. Whatever you want to share, just unmute yourself and share it so that we all can benefit from a nice discussion. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, all good Srila Prabhupada.
Oh, gotcha.
One of my takeaways is in the beginning of the lecture, which I remember when Prabhupada was speaking speaking this. I remember reading this transcript some time ago, so it was a very nice reminder, to me that how this whole world was actually one world.
Yes.
And I was just thinking as I was driving back from the temple, I was thinking, geez, this whole world was Bharatvarsh, was one world. And the emperor was Yudhishthir. And I was thinking, Hare Krishna, how in the world did Yudhishthir manage the whole world? And now this world, this globe, lack of a better word, is broken up into 7 continents and countries. And each country has its own leader, and they cannot even manage their own country. But here you have Yudhishthir, who managed the whole world, and I was thinking, just, how true, not that I was doubting it, but it's becoming more and more evident that as Kali Yuga is progressing, even the current leadership is messed up, like we cannot even manage one country, so many problems and issues and impurities and cheating, and the list goes on, right? But then yugas ago, you have Yudhishthir, who was running the whole world, just one single emperor, because he was so pure. Yudhishthir was so pure as a leader, so righteous and so clean that it shows how important purity is in our Krishna consciousness, cleanliness, truthfulness, honesty in our dealings is so important in our Krishna consciousness to uplift the energy of the world. So I was just meditating on that, wow, this is really powerful. This is really powerful. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah, the world has become so crazy. That's so true. But actually, remember the times Maharaj Yudhishthira was the emperor of the world. There were kings in different sections of the world too, but they all were subservient. They were under Maharaj Yudhishthira. So that's the way the thing was set up. And the closest thing currently is actually the United States. They have states which are as big as countries, and they are governors of each state. Then there's a president that presides over all of the governors. So that was a system actually that still USA has it, but it's one country out of so many other. But India has also something similar, but it wasn't broken up like a section has its own state and president, and then the others are governors. But in the world, all all of the different parts of the world had kings, lower kings, and then there was an emperor that was ruling over the entire world. So there was basically one economy. from the emperor's control, one economy, and then everybody else shared. So somehow the demons find a way to just break things up. It's called divide and conquer. And that's what's going on in this world now. The only thing is people do have that. Some countries have that form, but situations are not the pious type situation. That was our aim for the government. The aim of the government is not based on knowing about Krishna. It's just all sense gratification. And that's why even if there are some countries that have that format still of states and then with governors and then a president, still they are in the same Maya controlled by the material energy because they're not really looking for Krishna. And that is the important thing. And in the chat, Dear Krishna Prabhu is saying, please step on humble obeisances, God, Srila Prabhupada, and thank you for playing this class by Srila Prabhupada. And there's a question. So we have the formula, we have the process, we have this wonderful Hare Krishna movement in the form of ISKCON. Everything is made available by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and our charges. What are a few things we can do to keep ourselves inspired in this journey and do not get influenced by the external world? Very good question. So I'll read the question again. What are a few things that we can do to keep ourselves inspired and enthusiastic in this journey and not get influenced by the external world? In one sense, we are in a situation that is tough because we are swimming against the current. But the current is actually putting everybody that's in it and going according to that current in a bad situation because they are going to be buried in another body, another life, and another suffering situation. As Raghunath Das Goswami said, we have to speak to this mind, Manashiksha. That's why hearing is so important, because hearing reminds us, as Srila Prabhupada did today with this recording of this lecture, what the situation is in this material world and where we need to have our focus and get inspired to follow that. It is for our own good. We need to get out of this jail. It is a cosmic jail. That's why there's suffering here. And the main things are the birth, which is a suffering situation. This giving birth is a very, very, very painful situation. It's been described like breaking 21 bones. Now, how would you like 21 bones on your body to be broken? But this is the kind of pain during labor time that women go through just to have a child. So birth is extremely difficult. And then you live this difficult life. And you have to work hard and struggle and struggle and struggle. As one of our devotees here in the Harrisburg Temple made one observation, he said that his parents told him, in school you work hard, you work hard so that you can be, get good grades. And so he did that. And from high school, and he went to college. And he also was told that you have to work hard here to have a good degree so you can get a good job, a degree, good transcript. So he worked hard. And then he finished and he got a job. So he thought, okay, well, I got a job now, I can make money. Well, guess what? His boss told him, you have to work hard. So there was no getting around this situation. Everything has work hard, face all kinds of challenges. But you don't do that in the spiritual world, though. It's easygoing, loving situations. That's why Srila Prabhupada is pushing us in so many ways. He describes things, and then he always ends up with the conclusion being connect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in love, and you will be just fine. Even here in the material world, mentally, you'll be all right. Mentally, you'll be all right. And then it's not so difficult to deal with the situation. So with remembering the situation we're in and what we need to do and how fortunate we are as devotees, then we will get inspired to follow the process and also associating with the other devotees who are also with the same aim as we have, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, then we will just keep going. So we become a clan of our own, Krishna conscious clan, Krishna conscious family, moving towards the aim, loving Krishna, loving each other, helping each other, not offending each other. Then we will stay enthusiastic. Just like next instruction says, we have to be determined, we have to be enthusiastic, we also have to be patient because we run on Krishna's time, not our time. Then that way we'll be able to go. So it's a question of speaking to the mind. Hey, this is a terrible situation, material situation we're in. But there is a chance and things have been made simple enough for us. We just have to embrace it, the process, follow it strictly. And as Srila Prabhupada said, don't do it haphazardly, so that in the end it will come back and do another life, even though you're going to be born in devotees or you're going to be born in a wealthy family, so you don't have to worry about money, but you're still in a suffering world, and the suffering will affect you also. Go through another distress. So finish it off this particular lifetime. Then you can go back to God. Hare Krishna. Also another text from Bhakti Shane, who just we came to temple for the first time in Harrisburg this past 3 days. He came on Sunday, and now he's in the class. To wonderfully left the text. Hare Krishna, thank you for the wonderful class, and thank you for this inspiring answer. And that is all, we give all credit to our spiritual masters. So, and that's for from dear Krishna, thank you for the inspiring answer. So that is all glories to Guru and to Lord Chaitanya, the one that came to show us how to be a devotee, even though he was God himself, was Krishna himself. Hare Krishna. Any other comments, questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Yes, yes, Mataji. I was just thinking on the Dhir Krishna Prabhuji's point, how we can save from the worldly influence. So when one finds the satisfaction with the Krishna consciousness, then for him there is no any effort or anything to go outside the Krishna consciousness. So the when we get satisfied with the activities of Krishna consciousness, then we have everything, and there is no chance. I mean, there very less chance one can go outside. So I was just thinking on that point.
How do we become satisfied?
Yes, so that is the work we have to do to get satisfied. Until we get satisfied with the activities of Krishna consciousness, that is the work, and that is the sadhana, or whatever we want to put it. That's where the hard work has to done. Get satisfied with the Krishna consciousness activities.
So we have to follow the sadhana. We have to follow, as you're saying, you have to
Yes,
follow
for that,
the sadhana.
we are given the instruction by gurus, instruction
Yes.
by the our sadhu sangha and the shastra.
Yes. So that's what we have to follow. But the important thing is, how do we follow and follow strictly? We have to be determined. This is what we have to be determined. We are trying to get out of a messy world. We have to be determined to do what it takes based on the instruction that's given us. So determination is very, very important. And the end result of determination is that we stay enthusiastic because we're doing it. Because if you do it, you will be happy. And when you're happy, you are automatically enthusiastic.
Exactly.
And that's how
Yes, I was just thinking that process might be for someone, could be different and different platform. But once he's happy and satisfied, then he will not look for anything outside world. He said, I have what I need.
Yes. But you have to work at it to get to that point.
Yeah. The process could be different for different people.
Yes, because of the different levels that we all
Exactly.
Very important. Thank you for sharing wonderfully. So Damodar Prabhu, you raised your electronic hand, so please unmute yourself. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to the devotees of the call. Very nice class. Uh, Prabhupada spoke about the point that, like, being born in a family where either you are financially well off or you are born in a devotee family is like you have done something or you have started your spiritual life in past life, you just didn't complete it. So it becomes so obvious that if we again don't do it, we don't complete it in this life, again we will come back and again we'll be going through the same thing. So like it feels like more appealing that we should complete the rest of it in this life itself and take the opportunity, like whoever is born in the devotee family or well off, financially well off family should take this opportunity, make the most of it, because in a devotee family one thing is like most of the time like people don't uh, they are not against it or they don't create unfavorable conditions to our spiritual life. So they will be like, if we engage more, then like, even in that case, the devotees won't be very upset about it. Like parents and, they are favorable about those things. So it's so, uh, like, hope giving that one can complete the process in this life itself. So, and then another point I was thinking about, like regarding the point about satisfaction or how we can stay in the process. I was just wanted to share experience, not a realization, but my recent experience that like Prabhupada created such a program like for a daily routine or like what we can say uh, in a daily life, you get up early in the morning, chant your rounds, do some arti, or even if one is at home, we can do arti and read some scripture. Then we have Bhagavatam class, mm, different speakers. And like, many times we think like, oh, same person is speaking, or he will speak the same thing, but various speakers are giving classes, so that is like, a variation or a variety in that. Then coming to the evening, we have uh, Aarti in the evening. So like it doesn't feel like I am missing out on something that that is happening outside. We just like stay inside the temple and just keep on attending the programs that are happening. That's it. Like we have Japa call going on. We have Bhagavatam class going on. In the evening we have Aarti. So whatever one can attend, it becomes like easier for the devotees to just stay around. I said we just don't have to go anywhere else or try to come. Just whatever programs are happening in the temple, just attend that much. Even that is like that will like take us ahead. That's what my experience was. Hare Krishna.
And Hare Krishna. Yes, that's the reason for having the programs. It's to remind us about Krishna, to have us associate together and also learn from each other. That way we grow. Mhm. We are a small portion of the big family of pure devotees in the spiritual world. We are a little dirty because we've been associating with the material energy so long. So spiritually, we're not totally clean, and that's why we are involved in this process through the direction of Guru, who is a representative of Krishna, to get our act together. In other words, get cleansed from hearing. In so many ways, we are being taught on how to come to the level of loving Krishna and being unconditionally in love with him. Then everything will work out wonderfully, even here in the material world. And certainly our home will be the spiritual world, which is free from any kind of suffering. And then we will actually be, free, well, very fortunate. And speaking about that, Mother Sangita, who is a Srila Prabhupada disciple, shared some wonderful news on it. Sometimes I have Zoom programs in Philadelphia also. And she shared that Srila Prabhupada told them, his disciples, so she was sharing to us, that back in the spiritual world would be very, very wonderful. And some of the curiosity questions that I had, she answered in one sentence. She said, everybody will actually be able to recognize each other. The devotees here will recognize each other all around the world who are going back to the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, we will see who we are, even though we will be in our regular, the real spiritual bodies, not material bodies anymore. We still will be able to, not only that, we'll be extremely loving towards each other as we will be to all the residents who never came to the material world. But even those who were in this movement, they will in fact be able to see each other and remember each other like that. So that was very, very wonderful, additional things he talked about, the purpose. He was telling us, in many words, don't worry, just keep associating. When somebody leaves the body, and you go back to the spiritual world, they've gone early enough, but you will join them also, and you recognize them, and there will be so much love shared between everyone. Honestly, I think you raised your hand again, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Another thing that I would like to add to the satisfaction that that was spoken just now, and that is I was just meditating on that point, because at the end of the day, I'll use a material example. If in order for us to know that we are pleasing the Lord, which is the first satisfaction before we satisfy ourselves, is we stay on the right path. What happens is that when we jump from one to the other association, then the satisfaction becomes mixed devotion. We have heard this phrase, mixed devotion, where the bhakti is rasa, like khichdi, like it's a fruit punch. And that is because when we jump, like for example, if a student is enrolled in Penn State University and they take classes, or enroll themselves in University of Penn or Temple University or Drexel or what have you, it becomes fruit punch. They're not going to get the same teachings, the same, the same instructions, the same whatever. So I think it's really
same sequence of teaching.
Sequence. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. So it's really important that if we are on one path, we stick to the path. If we start going, if we start mixing up the path, that's called mixed devotion. Completely mixed devotion. In fact, I was reading a quote. One devotee just sent that to me last week, and I forgot. And I'm going to paraphrase that. And sometimes when we have the tendency to, like for example, if we add one knowledge from one sampradaya, we add it from the other sampradaya, we lose the potency of what we are teaching. So it's very important that in order to know that we're on the right path, we stick to the right path so that we're getting the right satisfaction, because then it becomes a mixed devotion, mixed satisfaction. And we are always taught in deity worship, at least, that, in order for us to be satisfied, we first have to satisfy the enjoyer, and that's Krishna. If Krishna is satisfied, then we are satisfied. So the goal of life is to please the Lord. Everything we do is to please the Lord. The way we dress is pleasing to the Lord. The way we cook is pleasing to the Lord. The way we speak is pleasing to the Lord. The way we do service is pleasing to the Lord. Because when the Lord and his devotees are pleased, then we are pleased. Like for example, sometimes when devotees cook the feast, they don't get hungry because they see the devotees enjoying it and satisfied. Just seeing the devotees satisfied, we automatically become satisfied without putting a morsel of rice in our mouths, So I think that's the key point, is that Krishna is the enjoyer. He gets he gets it first. And then from there, we get the remnants or the satisfaction. So This is something that we learned recently that was repeated to us by Nrsimha Kavacha Prabhu, that if we stay on the right path, we do not mix different paths, we just stay on one path, one railroad track, then when we get to the destination and we see that the Lord is satisfied, then we automatically become happy. And in fact, that's what Prabhupada told Bhakti Swami. When Prabhupada met Bhakti Swami in 1975, I think, or something like that, Prabhupada told Bhakti Swami, you've been here so many lifetimes. Just this life. That was his instruction to Bhakti Swami. Just this life, give it all to Krishna. And that was enough for Bhakti Swami to make his life pure, which he did. So we have this life, we have to do everything, whatever it takes, because we don't have to wait for some of the lives, but we have to be very careful how we treat our lives, to make it pakka, like really work on it. Because we are given this opportunity, this life, so just fix it up, fix ourselves up. That's what it is, fix ourselves up, So yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you're saying basically we have everything given to us to go back to God and just take advantage of Srila Prabhupada, take advantage of it so that we can go back and not having to do another lifetime, even though arrangement will be made to put us in touch with devotion again, with bhakti in the next life. But why come the next life? Because next life means you just come into the prison again. So take advantage of the situation now so you can go back to Godhead after we leave this particular body. This is how the Buddhists conquer death. Any other point? We conquer death.
Prabhupada puts that in the term, saying that make a best use of this bad bargain.
Yes, the body is a bad bargain, but it has intelligence that can be connected with Krishna consciousness, and that way we can go back to Godhead, shed this body one last time, and no more physical bodies, no more mental subtle bodies, just the soul only. Hare Krishna. Yes. Any other comments? I'll share just a little bit of my takeaway too, and then if anyone wants to ask a question or continue. I learned something new. Srila Prabhupada, every time when he's speaking, he will quote a lot from the Shastra, and then sometimes he will explain some words. Hastinapur had a different name. Gajasavaya. Gajasavaya. Gaja or Hasti means elephant. So they were keeping elephants at that time, the kings especially. Yudhishthira had that, and then so that was the name, how it came first. Krishna was going to leave Hastinapur because the war was over. Yudhishthira was now the king. The people who were in trouble, the demons, had been vanquished. But Yudhishthira asked him to stay a little longer, and this is how this started. So, though to his loving, Krishna was loved very much by Yudhishthira, and this is what we need to be doing also. When you love Krishna, then Krishna would actually hear you and some of the things that you want to do for him out of love. He will actually allow you to do it, even though he's the supreme controller. And so Prabhupada gave the point that Arjuna's chariot was being commandeered by, for lack of a better word, by Krishna. He was the chariot driver, and Arjuna knew that he couldn't order Krishna. So he called Krishna as Achyuta, one who never falls. So he put Krishna, all right, so Krishna is up that high, nobody is at Krishna's level. But out of love, he was requesting that the chariot be pulled to the middle of two armies so he could see. It's all in Bhagavad Gita. We can only purchase Krishna by love. Krishna is Durlabha. Dur means difficulty. Those who depend on their own personal studies, Krishna will be always difficult to find or realize. And then he said, the purpose of education is actually to know God. But people don't know. Nati vidu swada gatum hibishnu, which is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. People only go after food and shelter and sex life and so on. But when one decides to inquire about God, then his life is successful. He talked about how people live lives they make money in the nighttime, they sleep or enjoy the sex life. And this is just some things that animals also do. They don't go after money, but they go after food. Mhm. The money that we try to get from work is also to buy these same things that the animals also look for. So at nighttime, sleep, and then sex life. This is animal life. But life is meant for inquiring about the Supreme Lord. Mhm. And people who do that, they're called Sukritina. The background is pious. And then we talked about those who couldn't complete their previous life devotion. We already talked about that. They can come back in Krishna conscious families or wealthy families, so money won't be an issue. He also talked about Krishna having mystic power. So many things about us. He said it's there. Our hair is growing. We don't know how. That's mystic power. Mm. Even our waist is hypophosphates. That's also, we mentioned hypophosphates. There's so many things medicinally in that, and even that's our waste. So even for this physical body, so much is there. So we just have to love Krishna. Yudhishthira asked Krishna to stay a few days. He actually stayed a few months. This is how much loving Krishna is. But if we love Krishna, we will be with him and he will be with us forever. So this we have to be aware of that and see how fortunate we are. Just take the process seriously. Hare Krishna. Any last points or questions? All right. Thank you very much for coming on to hear. Always we get properly educated with Srila Prabhupada's lectures and other lectures too by the mercy of Guru and Guranga. So this evening, if you can come, we will start at 5 o'clock reading this Srimad Bhagavad Gita in English, the entire book. Today is Gita Jayanti. It will be at the temple. It will start at 5. It would be nice if you can get there before 5, so you start with everybody that's there to start. But try to get there as soon as you can. And after that, we will have Ekadashi Prasadam, light Prasadam, Ekadashi. Today is Ekadashi. We fast from grains and beans. And so that's the kind of Prasadam that we'll have in the evening. Okay. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sundibhe evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada.